Welcome to Melanated Rising, where we inspire, uplift, and ignite Black creatives, all while changing the narratives around Blackness. What does it mean to exist Black in this world today with our many intersections? That's exactly what we explore, the challenges, the beauty, and the brilliance. Every episode is a look at what is possible when Black creatives stand in our undeniable power. I am your host, Kristen Iris.
And I'm Miterrez, aka Mighty.
Welcome to Melanated Rising. Thank you guys for coming back, joining us for another episode. And today I am joined by Miterrez, who also goes by Mighty. Pronouns they, them. They're 27 and a Cancer, but they're not too sensitive. Mighty is a lesbian who strips for women. I just want to be a positive entertainer for women, they say. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I start everyone off with the same question. And that question is, what narratives around Blackness are you challenging or changing?
Well, for me, I want to say, because of my skin color, in combination with my hair quality, a lot of people want to tend to assume that I'm with your stereotypical light skin, or, oh, she got good hair, so da 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 da. So what I try to do is I try to break those stereotypes. The opposite. I'm not your typical, self-centered, like the way the world would perceive me to be because of how I could get by in society. I don't let that pretty much dictate how I'm going to move. At the end of the day, I look at it like, well, I look like this, so let me use my platform in a different way because they're going to listen to me versus sit here, walk around, and feel like I'm better than others because they listen to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. And that reminds me, because I watched one of your lives recently. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but one of the questions that came up was like, what's something that people think about you that isn't true? And you're like, people think that I'm arrogant. People think that I'm full of myself. And you were saying that's not true. So that goes in line with that. But this idea that, lighter skinned people are full of themselves or they're stuck up or something like that, that you're countering that. That's really interesting. And you talked about using your platform because people will listen to you. And that's a way of like the privileges that you have, that you're using the privileges that you have to, use your platform to have a voice.
Help as many. Yeah, like it's like for me, when people listen to me, I want to not only tell them things, but I want to show others things as well. Because at the end of the day, no one deserves to be ignored. And sometimes you just have to be that person that's translating the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll tell you one thing, and then you translate it, and you tell them, and they tell you. And it's like like kind of like playing messenger, except the messages they're sending. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like it's like kind of like someone can say, hey, we shouldn't do this, and then they won't be heard. And I'll hear them like, you know what, we shouldn't do this, right? Like, yeah, we shouldn't. It's like something like that. And even like, you get what I mean? It's kind of like being that extra voice for other people because people hear my voice already in certain cases.
Yes. And so it's in a way of like not talking over, but supporting, including and supporting someone else's voice where you're seeing like, okay, this person's not being listened to, so let me like back them up.
Yeah, let me turn the volume up for them, you know what I mean, so that way they can be heard.
Yeah. So tell me how you're doing that with your platform.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I actually just hit 15,000 followers yesterday. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I call my followers my support team, though. I'm not really into followers, Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I want us to go all leaders in some kind of way. So what I like to do with my platform is, of course, express LGBT events, letting people see me be myself and allow them to be comfortable within themselves as well. Another thing, too, a lot of people don't expect me to write and reply back. I respond to every single message I get, and I run all 3 of my pages. So I'll have people who will write me and say, I know you probably won't see this, best friend tell you, you fine. So, so I'll send a video and I'm like, guess who saw this? Think I'm fine, think I'm cute. Like all the stuff, and they just freak out, you know, and I love that, you know. And it's just like my way of showing, you know, that I'm humble. And at the same time, I am serious. And what I'm doing, I am just trying to offer positivity, you know, a positive distraction for women, you know, and if I'm doing it with other people as well, that's even better, you know. So I really use my platform to kind of prove the people in society wrong. Like, you know, like I can be considered a celeb wise on Instagram, but still contact you guys, you know, and get people used to that because we're so used to people getting somewhere and then forgetting where they came from or being told don't look back. And with me, I'm at a point where I'm looking the fuck back. And we got Chris.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Please do, because I do.
Okay. So yeah, so I like to look at it like you know, a chance to say, hey, this is how I look, this is what I do. Not only can you do it, I'm here to tell you can do it and show you can do it and give you advice and even connections network to allow you to be able to do it and take it from there, because we have a lot of people trying to be the best, trying to be number one. And what they don't realize is if we all work together, we're all the best and we're all thing. So I'm trying to be one of those people, you know, to be like, hey, you know, this isn't right. And then so just, you know, that isn't right. And so much that it isn't right. And you have less people saying, well, I don't see what's wrong. You'll have more people to say, this is why it's wrong. And you can't really fight that because you have multiple personalities, multiple dynamics all agreeing. So something has to be there. If too many people against it, it just has to be right, you know. And that's kind of how I like to move, you know. And I'm also very interactive with, you know, the people who like to watch me and play games and everything. Because again, when I mean distraction, I mean every way. Because women don't really have many distractions. When we do, they're usually at our cost, you know what I mean? Or they're held over our head, you know what I mean? It becomes an obligation, goodness. So I'm not really with that, you know. If I can be a part of, you know, that energy that allows someone to say, hey, you're beautiful. How was your day? Look at me. Look, tell me what to do. Like, you know, things like that, as well as while being a female, it's a really good feeling because we're always pretty much told what to do and how to speak and dress, but not to say. It, you know, sometimes we just gotta like not give a fuck.
Yes.
You know? And that's what it goes, like to say fuck that shit. What's up? Show them titties. Show like you know, all of that stuff, you know. And I like being one of those people because it makes me feel good and feel great that, you know, I can feel like I can say at least I made someone's day and they get to walk away with feeling good and not knowing and just genuine positive, you know, because again, like, you know, how this world is, women get treated the worst and are the most vulnerable.
Yep.
You know, and sometimes in most cases women go against each other because they just want to feel safer or be like a, you know, a yes man type, you know. And I'm the type where it's like, no, you can do whatever you want that you're comfortable with and live your peace and it's okay, you know, and just keep doing that, keep, you know, reiterating that, because then more people can actually say, hey, this is what I'm going to do versus I wonder if I can get away with this.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. I
want to make sense.
I think it did, because we have a lot of parameters on us, and there's a lot of like expectations, and there's a lot of obligations, and there's a lot of you can and you can't and you should and you shouldn't, and we get caught up in that. And I think especially especially Black women, because we are conditioned and socialized to be the caretakers, and that we have to put everyone else first because we hold the community. We are the glue that holds the community together, or the family together, or society together. And we don't really get a break.
Yeah. And also, while doing all of those things, you can't speak your mind, but you're an angry, bitter Black.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do what I say, or I'm going to tell you how terrible you are if you don't do what I say.
Yes.
When you do what they say, when you do it, they go, see, I told you could do it. I told you. But it's not really saying good job or thank you. It's just reminding you did something that you didn't want to do because you didn't want to hear something that you already knew you weren't, you know?
Yes. Yes. And that reminds me of how I first came across you in the first place, which was the Viceland video. And so here's the thing, there's so many things here, like changing narratives and creating different images. And like, I had never seen a stud stripper before, and I didn't know that there was like a stud stripper like niche and industry, and I was like, this is awesome. This is expanding the idea of what a stripper can be, and how you have to look. Like, you know, there's this idea that you have to look like a Cardi B or something like that, like you have to be a certain way or dress a certain way, and it's like you guys are expanding the idea of that. And so I saw that video, but I gotta tell you, I felt a way that City of Downs was being run by a dude, like a cis hetero dude. Like, I was watching, I'm like, this is awesome that this is out there and there's something for, you know, the LGBTQ community in this way, and this representation of people who are dancing and totally like free in your body, like not trying to make your body be anything other than what you are, you know, and being able, giving that permission to show up fully as you are, and to be sexy and to be entertaining and to move in a way that feels good and that's pleasurable for you. And that shows other people that they could do the same thing. And so I love that part of the story, but that video and what was going on, definitely, I was like, I don't like what just happened there. So why don't you tell people what happened?
Okay. Honestly, okay. All right. So I'm trying to think of where to start. I've been hearing this question a lot. I've been told many people cringed when, you know, they saw certain parts and stuff. So, well, speaking for what you do not see in the documentary that Vice reported, what happened was it took an interest. I want to say someone in part of Vice looked up, you know, something to do with Dom women, and City of Doms is right now not the only thing going on, because I love to believe that everyone has something, just don't know about it yet. But they're the one that's currently relevant and, you know, popular of everything, you know. So of course, you know, you have that status, you'll come across them on the internet, you know. So that's what actually occurred. So they reached out to, you know, Cameo, the founder of, you know, City Doms, and you know, of course, they checked out the page, and I can't really say they were looking for a particular person, but when they spoke to me, they, you know, said like that they did connect with me. They did like the fact, or they loved the fact that, you know, when I spoke about dancing, I made it sound natural, sound good, you know? So they're excited to, you know, meet City of Doms, Cameo, and ecstatic to meet me. So I'm ecstatic because I've never done anything like this before, you know, and and I'm just like, okay, just do what you normally do. You go live all the time. It's just a human being in the room with me too. Like, that's it. It's the same thing. So, you know, so they, you know, they followed myself, another entertainer that goes by the real Gemini. She's the captain leader of City House. So they followed the two of us, as well as, like, you know, shadowed others, you know, the event itself, you know. And, you know, we are on a boat. We are on a boat, and we are in New York City, pretty much next to the Statue of Liberty. So we're over the border. We're far away from land. Like, you can't swim there. You're not going to make it. Like, this is what I want you guys to hear that. You know? I am too far to run away off this boat. You know what I mean? So, so everything's happening. You know, the event's happening, and things kind of took a turn kind of early in regards of I'm really big on energy. You know, so I felt energy, and I just wanted to ignore it. I just wanted to just, you know, stay focused, because sometimes some people do change when they're in front of a camera, or when they know they're being watched, or, you know, they want to act, you know, celebrity like, you know. So, you know, that event was in August. It was a all white cruise. That was also my yearly anniversary of being Sick It Out. So everyone pretty much knew, okay, well, this is Mighty's anniversary, celebrating Mighty's anniversary on top of the all white cruise, you know. So because I had a lot of attention. I always get a lot of attention from the women because I'm very personal when I entertain people. You know, I make sure they're comfortable. I make sure they're okay. You know, I entertain anyone. I don't care about how you look. I think everyone is beautiful in their own way. You know, so people got to fall in love with me over this year. So they were looking forward to seeing, wow, you've been for a year. Let's see your growth. Let's see your progress, you know? And that didn't make me like the most favorite person to be around in regards of being with that group. It kind of mustered up jealousy in certain ways, insecurity issues, you know, things like that, you know. And I slowly was becoming censored for being the best entertainer I could be. I'm really known for taking my shirt off. I have nipple rings. I love to show them. You know, I just learned what pasties are. They said nipple rings, but I learned what pasties are. But you know, I was really known for taking my shirt off and my body. You know, it's like my niche. You know, I'm the small one. You know, but then it became okay. Don't take your shirt off too quick. You know, wait a minute. Take your time. And we have like an 8-minute time period, and my shirt's on the whole 5 to 6 minutes because throughout my dancing, I'm constantly hearing this man say, "Don't take your shirt off. Don't take your Mike. Slow down, slow down." But after me, I'm watching literally these women, other entertainers, walk out butt naked. You know, so right there was the first modification I saw him doing with my craft to manipulate my money flow. And then the second thing I noticed, which popped up at the anniversary, was he manipulated the audience and was using threatening techniques. You know, at first I thought I was going to be the first one out because it was my anniversary. Then it went from, "Oh, don't worry, babe, you're going to go. Don't worry." And that came on over and over and over. I'm at the bottom of this boat, you know, just waiting for my turn. And I can hear him saying, "I'm going to stop this motherfucking show. We're going to turn this motherfucking boat around. I don't see no one." Because no one saw me yet, you know, whether they're sober or intoxicated, they're trying to just throw out something to keep the show going because they really want to see me. And every single entertainer, I want to say, I heard that for. So at that point in time, mind you, I'm a sober entertainer, so I can count up how many times he's saying it. I don't drink, smoke, I don't do anything stupid before I entertain because I want to show I'm sober. I want to look good in these pictures, and I want to just make sure I look my best. So by the time, you know, an hour goes by and I'm not making any money because he's telling me not to come upstairs, I gotta stay down because it's my anniversary. I already accepted it. Okay, I'm not gonna make that much money, but it's cool. New York's not that far from Pennsylvania. Kill it anyway and have fun. That's why when you see me come out, you would have never even known I thought all those things were that all that happened.
No, I didn't. Not watching it. I'm hearing this stuff new. Like there were things that I saw in the video that I was like, "Oh, that looks not so good," but I didn't know that all of this is going on.
Yeah, so that's
like the money manipulation.
Yeah, so because you know I didn't get paid for being there. I don't get a booking. All the money I make is the tips, you know, and they're not paying for me to travel either. So I'm driving at that time. I was driving to New York, paying for gas, paying for toll, paying for parking. So whatever I get is what I get. Now remember that I just said that, okay?
Okay.
So in the video, you see me running up, excited, because I just love entertainment. You would have never thought that I already knew that I wasn't going to make much because I was manipulated, but I didn't want that to come off. So I'm dancing, having fun, and I already, again, knew that I wasn't going to see that much money. So when I didn't see that much on the floor, it didn't bother me. I took off my white shirt, my hoodie, my jeans. I picked someone up. I just showed everybody, look, y'all didn't see me for a while. I'm sure you weren't seeing, like, you know, things like that, like making a good impression. In regards to some who already knew me and some who didn't, you know, just having fun. So there were things that weren't cool, and it should not have happened. But I also didn't take everything personal as well. So again, in that video, like you saw at the time, the stud, he's now a trans man, picked me up and, you know, flipped me over.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
And I twerked a little bit on him, and well, current time, but now him. And you know, because I'm like, okay, we're still in this boat. over the water. You can drop me any moment. Like, I don't know if you were drinking. I don't know those things. But why is no one stopping this? Why isn't someone saying, hey, 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 put her down? Why is the most powerful tool on this boat not being used right now? You know what I'm saying? And then second, it wasn't because of my safety. It wasn't for my safety. It wasn't being looked out. It was because what was happening would be a perfect photo or a perfect video because it would be considered something, wow, you'll never see this somewhere else. So my safety was put at risk for a potential commercial. And I had to keep that in my mind that, okay, I'm stopping. Okay, well, don't show your fear. Keep it together. Keep a smile on your face. Walk it off to your thing. And that's what I did. So, he's still seeing that there's not much money on the floor because he's under the assumption that, you know what, I'm going to let her do that because they're going to tip her because that's crazy shit. Thinking that way, but he's not realizing, no, I threatened these women for the whole event pretty much. They pretty much went broke or they don't know how much to actually spend because they don't know how much time is left with this event going on. So they're just trying to make sure they're okay. And I understand that because I do that myself. I always myself a good, like maybe $5, $10. You never know what happens. So, that. So he took, again, the desperate route. Instead of saying something positive to Enchanted or just listen to me when I told him, it's okay if it's not that much money, I just want to have fun. That's what I told him. And that's what's not on the documentary. So I have videos of all that stuff, different angles. And I smile, telling him, like, don't worry about it. The part that they have is literally after I said that. When he goes, hold on, we're going to stop the music. And then says, we're going to do something that Mike never does and all that stuff. And number one, you can never promote something saying we're going to do it, but it's never done. It's not done for a reason. And you can't advertise something that was never practiced or wasn't even asked. You know what I'm saying? You're literally saying, like, literally what I got from it was, all right, she's not making no money. This might make it look bad for us because I know people are recording. So I'm going to see if she's going to show her cat. I'm going to see if she'll show herself. And maybe that would be like that winning thing because no one else did it. And then she'll just make up for it. And then everything will look good. I don't have to feel like a bad guy. You know what I mean? That's what I really pretty much got from that. It's like I'm offering you an opportunity to make more money. But it's like, no. But you're trying to make me sell my soul. Because you literally just said, I don't do this and volunteered me to do it in front of everybody. Now that brings it back to the fact that we're on the boat, and I told him, but you also can see, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And if you are a professional MC, if someone said, I don't want to do that, first of all, I wouldn't even say it. But if I did do if I had a little liquor in me and I slipped up, I'm like, what you going to show your cat, right? Some shit like that. And then someone says, oh, I don't want to do it. I would easily play it off like, no, we don't do that here at City Doms. You can always spin it off because no one is saying yes. You know what I'm saying? They're saying no. So if they're saying no, reformat, regroup, and resend out that message. You have the power. They're going to listen to you regardless. But when you take the mic and you say you don't want to do it on the mic, that lets me know, okay, let's be real. I have two choices. Either I walk away and that's filmed and no one knows why I did it because everybody's under the influence and it's going to make it seem like I got scared or I'm not ready to be an entertainer. Like keep in mind, when he's saying this is going through my head. Or, like I said in the documentary, do I take one for the team? When I said take one for the team, I didn't mean the City of Dom's team. I didn't, because none of them did that. None of them had to. You know what I mean? I was taking one for the team in regards of when these women see me lay down, when they see the expression in my face, when they feel my energy shift, that's for the women who were put in situations and no one saw it happen. And I knew I had two choices: either walk away and people will be confused and I feel like a terrible entertainer and question myself, or I do what I don't want to do because I'm sending a message that the fact that this is what's happening with this group. this organization. You guys are spending your money and they're showing you all this flashy stuff, but look at what they're making me do. Look at how no other dancer came up. Look at how the women who came for me covered me up in my defense.
Yes.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
saw that.
And it's like, you know, to me, you can tell. I mean, everyone says they can see my energy. I can see the change. You know,
I
see
saw it. I mean,
you
I
know,
know
because
videos are edited, but I saw it. Like,
but you can
said that, you were
see
like,
my
"Are you
eyes
kidding
get
me?"
wide open.
Yeah, you were like, "What are you? Why are you even proposing this?"
Yeah, like my eyes got wide, but my head said, "What the fuck?" Like, what? You can see my face, like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So so that was the thing. The thing about it was my anniversary, and you're supposed to feel special. People was coming for that. You know, on top of that, the event started early. The event left the dock early and left people behind, and started late anyway. So it could have stayed, and people actually could have came. Everyone could have made more money, but some people were just focused on the image of starting, but it didn't even matter. You know, so that's why it wasn't that many people on that boat. There was way more people on there when I first started dancing versus last year, you know. So, so okay, back to this boat. People would drop comments on the YouTube video and the Facebook saying, "Well, why would she lay down? Why would she do that?" I didn't have a choice. My choice was taken away when he repeated on the mic, "You don't want to do it." Because if you're intoxicated, you're going to look at me as like a sissy or a wuss. You're not in the right state of mind to know that I'm being pretty much sexually harassed in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You're not in the right state of mind. So, when, I laid down because I already knew I had two choices. Either walk away and no one understands and they get away with what he did, what he tried to do, or show them who he really is. You know what I'm saying? And take one for the team, as in the female species team. You know what I mean? The fact that there's so many of us that we go through these things and there's no one to see it and say, "Hey, stop it," or "I have proof." You know, I was always harassed and treated like shit, to be real with you, by them, but no one got to see that. And that was the first time they actually got to see it. They got to see the CEO founder put me in a situation of vulnerability without caring. They actually even got to see him, and I didn't even know this until I actually saw the video. When he said he vaguely remembered, when I saw him say that in the clip, I didn't even know he said that. Literally after this happened, and this happened in August, I called him the next day and I told him I did not like what happened, and we spoke about it. So it's like, how do you vaguely remember what you did? How do you vaguely remember our conversation? You didn't care to remember. It didn't affect you because you didn't have to do it.
Yep.
And that was another opportunity again for him to say, okay, I just want to say something. Miterrez, Mighty, sorry, the event got to me. Like, it was so many opportunities to say it, we're sorry, because what you did was messed up. But instead, you say you vaguely remember. And then you give a weak ass disclaimer of saying, if you have a problem, you gotta talk to the team. When I literally told you in front of the team, in front of patrons, I don't want to do it. How much more talking did I have to do? You know what I mean? If like no means no. So if someone's saying no, you're supposed to respect that no. You can't say you vaguely remember the person saying no and then telling the person to tell the team in a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a difference between saying, "No, I don't want to do it," and "No, Cam, please don't let me." You know what I'm saying? Which one did you want to hear? The one where I'm begging to not do it so you can feel better about yourself? Or the one that gets ignored and I just have to make sure the next person in my shoes gets heard? And people are aware that, yes, there are Dom dancers and there's a community for Dom entertainers to get themselves out there. But we don't have to settle with something that doesn't care about us. You know what I mean? We don't have to settle just because that's an option that we have to all run to. I did not know that. I didn't have anyone to warn me that. I had to learn. Okay, well, Miterrez, you look good, you dance great, and people like you. You are money. But You're not going to make that much money off of anything because you're going to get tackled with fees. And you're going to have to find your way out to these events, and you're going to not get your percentages from your ticket sales, and people are going to steal from you and all kinds of stuff. And you know, when you hear City of Arms and you think, oh shit, this will be so great, and then you join it and you get disappointed because you're the only one that's actually enjoying what they're doing, you know, it becomes heartbreaking. I got disappointed by it, and then I got even more disappointed when that happened. And another thing I got a lot was, well, why did you do the other two events? Why did you do the one in October and November? At the end of the day, people bought tickets to see me, and others as well. I honestly wanted to leave City of Dogs after I got off that boat, because when I got off that boat, after everything happened and I had counted up my money, I had $60. And $60. That was the least
from your own anniversary.
Yeah, that was
your own anniversary party.
That was the least I ever made. But mind you, every other time I ever went out, it was always 800 or more.
Wow.
I was I get a lot.
Big difference.
I get a lot of, like, around it. It was literally like this. My first time dancing with them, I made 300, and they said that was a lot for an audition. I'm like, cool, you know. The next one, 500, 800, 1800, 2200. When I got to $2,200, I'm like, you'll see. I'm gonna put a clip. Someone put $700 in my boxes just because.
Dang.
And people were watching that, and they started to get bitter. So that's when I had started going later, or my music was shorter, or I had to take my time with removing my clothes because I was taking too much attention. So you're talking from August of last year, November, the beginning, January, February, March. All of those things are seeing me progress and grow, but I'm not the leader. I am here. So the best thing to do is put me in my place, slow her down. So they did that on the anniversary. They manipulated something that would sell tickets because people would buy it because they got to love me for a year. But they also knew that it would be a great chance for me to pretty much make all the money. And the things with me is I'm team tip them. I'm team give other people money too. I'll even throw money on the dancers. I don't care. Mm-hmm. You know, if I feel like, okay, I'm good, I don't mind being nice, you know? But instead, the order list was manipulated. The crowd was manipulated. I was manipulated. And it was literally like I said, it was a whole, I'm going up, but then I'm being punished every event. Don't do this. Don't do this. But I'm still giving the same energy. Don't do this. Don't do this. You know, I'm doing more than what they have to do because I got to tune him out from shouting them at me. Don't take your clothes off, Mike. Slow down, slow down. You know, that could throw you off. That's technically, honestly, rude. But here I am, still doing it, and I just smiled off at him. And I really want to be like, shut the fuck up. Come on. Like, this is a stripping event. Like, let me strip. Let me be great. Like, you know? So, so anyway, when all of that, like I said, when all of that happened, and the way, like I said, how it was so manipulated, I knew it was because it was a combination of, okay, I really think I just outgrew you guys. Or maybe you guys are just too toxic to affiliate with, because that should not have happened. Even if he was going on a power trip, the dancers should have stepped up and stopped it, but they did not want to. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to.
Yeah.
And the patrons, like the guests, they don't know what they can and can't do. So they're limited. If no one takes that first step, they're going to naturally not do it, because all night long they've been told they're going to stop the show if something. So they're trying to obey. So you got the audience obeying the CEO founder. You have the other dancers watching what the CEO founder does. And I'm just literally laying down, realizing they're probably enjoying what's happening. That's why they're not stopping it. He doesn't care about what's happening. That's why he's letting it happen. Thank you, fucking God, that you guys saw my face. Audience member, thank you for covering me up. You know what I mean? Like for the ones who were aware enough to see what was happening and came up and then spreading it across,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I knew those people personally too, you know, because they already knew that that's not me. You know, if I want to do anything, if I want to show anything, it's on my terms at the end of the day, because it's my body. But the way the whole thing orchestrated, and you got to also keep in mind too, that's also not inappropriate. The DJ is a man. The photographer, the videographer is a man. You know what I'm saying? This is men pretty much running this. They have their personal mobile phones out recording stuff of us. You know, things like, again, remember, I'm a sober entertainer, so I'm looking at all of these things and I'm like, this is not right. This is not right. This does not look right. And especially what I had to do was not right at all, you know. And I looked at it like, you know what, I cannot do this. December will be my last show with them. In my head, I'm saying that because these women already bought tickets and were looking forward to me being there. And I'm not with that whole want to be there and not show up. That's a terrible look. So I showed up in California, even though it was hard. You know, that was in October. The interviews and all that was August and September. And I felt extremely dirty. I felt extremely sad, extremely violated because I never wanted to do something like that unless I even had to, but just for fun. Like play it off in a nice way. Not in this, she's going to do this because there's no money being out. Like, no, I'm going to do this because I just want to touch myself. Let's watch me touch myself. Like some shit like that, you know.
Where it's on your terms.
Exactly, you know. So it was like it was one of those things where it was like in my head, okay, is this gonna make me do this again? Is this gonna be like a new gimmick for me? You know what I mean? Am I gonna be stuck in this cycle of showing your cat, going last, all that stuff? So I prepared myself, and when I was going to California, I already knew I'm not doing it. I had that's why I wore a certain outfit that way I couldn't lay down on my back. You know what I mean? And you're not going to sit here and say take those off and lay down. You're not going to say, oh, that's too much words. That's too much. So I prepared for it this time. You know, we were in California. I'm from Cali. I was born in San Diego. So I wanted to entertain, you know, where I was born. Like it was amazing. Killed it. Came back November, did that with my New Yorkers. The same people who had my back in August. I wanted to thank them and just give them an amazing time in a building, not moving or fucking water. You know, like a normal like thing, you know. And I brought a whole pie. I put it between someone's legs, and I was eating the pie out, and everybody was like flipping their mind. It was amazing, you know, because something in my spirit felt like, Mighty, this is it. Something's going to happen. So just wild out, enjoy it while you can, and just do whatever, networking, get as much left out of the situation, you know. So, you know, what ended up happening was the final event in December, another event I sold tickets for in Fort Lauderdale. It was December 8th. The documentary was released November 28th. And they did not like what I said. They did not support what I said. He texted me talking about, you know, I chose you at everyone, you know, like basically trying to blame me for his image looking bad. It's
female, like be grateful, like that I chose you.
Yeah.
That's got an ick to it. Like I chose you, so be grateful because I chose you. You used me.
Yeah, and on top of that, they chose me because they talked to the other entertainers and they were just thinking about my energy they liked. I mean, they came over to my house. You know what I'm saying? I think they chose me. You know what I mean? Like if they're in my house, they definitely chose me, you know. But, you know, and you know, and his, you know, significant other, you know, the female, that's because they co-running or whatever, you know.
Okay.
They run it as a power couple type of thing. You know, she's sending me messages, like kind of like explaining how he feels. Like, you know, Cam's not really feeling good. These comments are really upsetting him. And I'm over here
and
like, okay,
why are we prioritizing him here?
Exactly.
Like we're centering like, the wrong person.
Yeah. So I'm over here like, okay, so he's upset that I'm not standing up for him. And she wants me to quietly, you know, not stand up for myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you know, and this is what happened the same day the documentary was published, November 28th. Now, the event was December 8th. And I'm just like, okay, that's like in the week and some change, knock it out, start a new year, start a new chapter, boom. As time passes, I learned things like City of Downs unfollowed me December 3rd. I learned that people from the City of Downs team were bashing me in comments, saying I'm lying, saying it wasn't forced, saying, you know, maybe I'm not built for this industry because I couldn't just move on with being sexually harassed. The people who did not stop it from happening on the boat also were sent out to say, she's just weak. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're not saying, you know, this is unfortunately things actually like they're not doing any kind of damage control. They're defending again this guy, you know, saying, you know, he's one of the most known promoters. Why would you burn yourself? I'm like, but again, like, okay, do you not see? Okay, you know, and then, you know, all that was happening, and I just kept a positive mind, you know, did my thing, moved on. December 8th comes. I'm in Florida, you know, getting ready for the show. I land a day early. You know, someone booked my flight for me, thank God, you know, thankfully last minute. And I land, I'm preparing for the show the next day, everything. I'm excited, made my music, everything. I'm just excited to have, you know, fun. I want to say after I land, 16 hours later, after they already know I'm in Florida, they call me 8 hours before the show. Show's at 8 p.m. It is like 11:56, 11:57 in the morning. And one of his like assistants or whatever calls me and tells me that they did not want me at the event. And I said, I was saying, you know, why? What did I do? She told me that the dancers would feel uncomfortable if I was there. And that they had a meeting, a group meeting that I was not even invited to. And other dancers who were cool with me, they also weren't invited to.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had like no type of anything. They waited until I got there because I got there on the 7th. Mind you, they unfollowed me on the 3rd. They made up their mind when they saw that documentary that I was not going to be there. And they allowed me to keep promoting, allowed me to get my hopes up, allowed me to talk about this, this, and this. And then when it comes up, they take it away from me and try to say, we just gotta, you know, we all agreed on this. And I said, I literally said this. Do you think it's wise to punish the one everyone is talking about in this documentary? Don't you think if I'm missing, they're going to think something? And literally on the phone, no, we don't see it that way. You know, they like it was like their minds already made up. She's talking about she felt like I was calling her a hoe and all these things. I'm like, I didn't even say anything negative. I spoke the obvious, you know? And I'm smiling because when the phone was ringing, I literally looked over to the person that was driving me. I said, should I answer this? And she's like, should you? And I'm like, if I answer, they want to tell me I can't perform tonight. Because it's something in my energy felt that. You know what I mean? And I was right. I was right. I went live evening after it. I had a mini snap because I wanted people to see that and come back. That way I could talk cordial and all light and all that. And I told, they didn't want me to tell anyone I wasn't going to be at the show. So, yeah. So I went live and I said, I will not be at the Fort Lauderdale show, but I didn't say why. And then, you know, time goes by and then I realized, I started feeling like, wow, they really waited to do this to try and break me. Because if I didn't have someone in the airport, if I came out of pocket for this, it could have set me back. It could have potentially had me stuck in Florida. They did not care about my life at all, you know? So, you know, and that this is backlash from the documentary that you guys saw, that you guys don't know about, you know? And someone was in there after I went in to watch for me. Once I, you know, accepted I couldn't go, I went to the parking lot so that way I can at least meet the people who paid tickets to be there just because. So they came out, you know, And a lot of people ended up leaving that event when they found that I wasn't there. A lot of people didn't show up. When they saw I really wasn't going to be there, they left. I took some people. We went to the bar, played pool. Like it was really great, you know. But someone told me that, you know, Cam had someone that goes by Thorn Freak lay down the ground and talk about, you know, Pat the cat, and says a joke saying, "Are you sure you want to do this? You're not going to like." So he made a joke about what the documentary was talking about, which is funny because if you vaguely remember it, you remember it now. How do you remember it 4 months after it happened versus the like next fucking day? You know what I mean? You planned to do that. That was script. You know what I mean? And of course, you knew it would get back to me. And you know what ended up happening was I came back from Florida the next day, got on my plane. I was processing what had happened, going over every single thing that every single one I was manipulated. I landed in Philadelphia, drove home an hour, got home, stayed in my car, went live, and I broke down fucking tears because I was so hurt and so upset. And you know, people were crying because of me crying. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to hold anything back because what happened was we messed up. And I explained to everybody how I was always treated like crap because people just liked me, you know, or how the leader, Gemini or whatever, you know, she pushed me while I had someone in my arms because I was getting too much attention. And Cam defends her by saying, you know, she's just intimidated by you because you knew. No, tell her not to. Because, I mean, that's assault. You know what I'm saying? And that's who I'm supposed to go to if I need something. If I'm learning that early, I don't have no one to go to. I can't go to you. I can't go to you. I can't go to your significant other. And they didn't know that. They just knew I repped the city down so hard. I had 3 shirts. I wore them motherfuckers out because I was proud to be a part of it until I wasn't. And they didn't know that. They didn't know what happened to me in Florida. They didn't really understand what was going on, why I wasn't doing what I was doing there. And when I said all that stuff, some of the City Down members came in there attacking me, but someone was saying, no need for this negative energy. You know, they got someone was saying, if you don't shut the fuck up, all this shit. You know, and I just ignored it. You know, I saved my life because, I mean, I meant what I did. I meant what I said also. Mm-hmm. And then days go by. I'm getting harassed by Instagram. They're making fucking memes talking about attorney this and this and this. You know, be careful you give your energy to. You know, they starting like this. You know, starting memes like that. You know, messed up, mean, but not as cool. I didn't let it get to me. I took screenshots of everything that they did to me. I took screenshots, and I kept doing me. I kept entertaining. You know, and then I would speak up for myself because I'm blocking all of them. I can't see them. People coming to me and they're saying, yo, look, yo, this is this. I'm like, so they see me getting more and more people seeing this video that came out in November, but it's January. It's honestly, it's December in January, where some people saw it on YouTube and they did not like that. You know, they wanted me to actually do an apology and say I apologize for basically making it seem like I was coming at his neck because I said that it should be ran by an LGBT person. You know, they wanted me to apologize for that.
I thought that was reasonable. That's how I felt when I saw it. Before you even said that in the video, I was like, this should not be run by a cis hetero male.
They wanted me to make a video where I'm saying, you know, what you saw in the documentary isn't as bad. They wanted me to do that because I did not do that. That's why they took the route that they did. You know what I mean? They looked at like, well, you're not protecting us, so you must really be by yourself. But I'm like, y'all didn't protect me. I was already alone.
I was just thinking that same thing.
You know what I mean? So now you're at the point where they're still seeing me doing my thing before standing up for me. So then the harassment got worse. You know, we had people literally making videos. You know, that song, Living My Best Life. I ain't going back for you, the N-word. You have a Caucasian female saying that, talking about me, flipping those lyrics. You know, she's one of the dancers. You have other dancers coming at me in comments. You have them saying, if you follow Miterrez, I don't fuck with you, block me. Like,
what are we on the playground?
Yeah,
like, oh, if you like this person, we can't be friends. Like, what is this?
I'm like, that's like, first of all, like, that's crazy. You know, comparing me to a Chihuahua, it even got to the point where they got kind of physical, verbally physical, you know what I mean? Like, verbally physical when you can say like, you got the whole gang after your skinny ass, hope you keep that same energy. They have shit like that as memes, And I'm taking screenshots along the way. So I would go live and I would show people and it would make them get upset. And I'm like, you already put this on the internet. All I'm doing is reiterating what you're doing because of what I said after what you made me do. So then it got to the point where they were comparing me to R. Kelly. And,
Okay, wow.
And because I was crying at live, they kept calling me a crybaby and all that stuff. Cancer's connected to being sensitive. That's why I put my I'm not sensitive, but so a lot of their memes always had tears or crybaby or things like that. So when they had R. Kelly because he was crying during
during that interview,
they're calling me R. Kelly and they're calling themselves Gail, and I'm like, how are y'all the victims of this, And I don't know if you heard of Momo, that thing that was telling kids to kill themselves.
Yeah. Oh,
They
that
compared
me
to Momo as well. They were like, you see the resemblance? And they're like, yeah, we see it though. Like it was a whole little feed on their page for almost every single dancer was talking shit about me. And they just were cool with it being up. Took a screenshot, and
wow, that's a lot of bullying.
And then it even got to the point where someone went out their way to find where I lived, found my phone numbers, and the internet had my old cell phone number and my mom's cell phone number. They were calling my mom's cell phone over and over and over trying to get to me. And then they even left a note on my mom's door talking about call the police of Westford, Connecticut, or whatever. They went out the way and left a note on my mom's door to try and scare me some more. And no one knew that either, And then one day I'm like, you know what? Okay, something gotta give. And then the voicemail. I got a voicemail of all that threatening stuff. Talking about, it's gang. She's wanting her blood on my blood on her hands. She says my name. She says, she's one of them, I gotta take care of my mom. And she mentioned all the things she knew I had to deal with, like another manipulative tactic. So, time goes by. It is now April this year. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take all this. I'm going to make this into a video. And I'm going to put her audio in the background. So the way I wrote it and showed and expressed every single thing, you guys have seen me lay down and you see that it's fucked up. But you see me smiling and you see me still just going, on with the documentary part, with the interview, and just being positive. But y'all don't see that, I'm being cyberbullied. I'm being harassed. My mom's being harassed. My followers being harassed. That part's not in the documentary. It wasn't like an update or, how certain shows will have the black background, the text. My Miterrez was recently harassed. That wasn't there. So everybody's calling me a hero and everything for standing up. That's great. I love it. But y'all don't even know how much I am enduring at the same time after this. So when I put that up, and towards the end, I'm like, it's ran by a male and a female. That voice you're hearing in that voice note, that's what it is. And people are like, it's really fucking them up. They're like, yo, they really all attacked you for months and months and months after you were the one already hurting. And they really was trying to break you. They tried to break you in Florida. They tried to break you when you got back to Florida. They tried to break you when you were doing things at the Life Lounge. I also danced at the Life Lounge in Baltimore. So they were trying to do whatever they could to stop me from being great. And I put that up. And I want to say a few days ago, I shared that documentary on Facebook. And my friends from high school, we shared it. And then someone else shared it. And then it was LGBT groups. And then it's all viral now because I decided, you know what? This came out in November. It didn't get its appropriate, display. It didn't. You know what I mean? You're talking, it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year all around that damn time.
Oh, yeah.
it didn't get its proper introduction. I spoke to the female who was recording it, part of Vice Broadly. She repackaged it, and instead of it saying, Magic Mike type of City of Doms thing, it was repackaged into what consent means by a man for LGBT. She changed it, for me. And then I'm just like, you know what? I need to share this. I need to get people to see this. So I started buying ads on Instagram for it to be seen on Instagram. And then I'm like, you know what? Facebook has to do it too, you know? And it took off literally days ago. And I'm so thankful because you get to a point where you're like, okay, I was making really good money dancing with them. But I also know it was because of the investments I was doing. I was getting the people to come. You know, I don't need them. I kept telling myself, I don't need them. I'm talented. I can get these same people. But when you're getting harassed and then when you realize that you do have to start over, in a sense, you know what I mean? And you're accepting that you got ripped off, you know, it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. And then it starts to make you think, did I do the right thing? Was I exaggerating how I felt? So I would watch the video and I would see maybe I didn't, maybe I took it personally. I was starting to think that.
You're
And I was
second
trying
guessing
to,
yourself.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm like thinking to myself, like, because people are hitting me up saying, hey, I want to be a part of City Downs, but they don't know I'm not with them anymore. And I'm just like, did I mess up? Did I, like, if I was talking for the team, maybe, like, the team, you know, maybe I would have been doing this and this and this, or I just kept my mouth shut like everybody else. I started to think that, but of course, like, I don't believe, like, not all money is good money, you know, and I figured, you know what, let me just share this. Let me see who cares enough about this. So I had people donating, you know, to my Cash App to allow me to dictate how much impressions I can get and how many days, you know, duration, you know, you know, it went from 30 credit that Instagram gave me to I've got up to 150 because I wanted to expand it and just keep going and going and going. And they kept doing it. And I was so like thankful that like people were seeing and saying, no, I support you, I support you, I support you. Because I was kind of like thrown under the rug. I couldn't really express what I wanted to say because it wasn't the right time. I wasn't even really mentally there because I was still hurting from August. You know, I was still regrouping from August. You know, so now it's like I just laid down for you 3 months ago and I just told you sick as you didn't feel that way then. But, you know, it was like that, you know. So once that was happening, I started feeling good and people were just commenting and sharing it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck buying ads. That's expensive, y'all. Let's just share it all for free. Like, you know, let's do it for free, you know? And I know that my Facebook is pretty pretty popular too. So I started on Facebook. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna share it on my story. You know, let's just do it. And one day I wake up and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. 365 new followers. I'm like, hold up. Instagram is bugging. And just like more and more and more, I'm like, okay, what is going on? Because like AO is Smitey is the one that's in the documentary, but that was my backup page. My Miterrez page was actually reported by one of the dancers and ended up getting my page deleted. I got over 100 women to write Instagram to get my page back, and that's why I have my page. Miterrez and AO is Smitey was either deleted or disabled, and I spoke in the field and got myself back. So everyone was going to AOS Mighty. I'm like, this is my page. This is not a catfish, any kind of fish. There's no fish here, you know. But my main page is this one. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get everybody to come over and everything. And you know, like I said, I'm like 365 on my thread. What the fuck? And that's with AOS Mighty, and I'm like, the fuck? I haven't been on AOS Mighty in like a month. Why the fuck is it like why the fuck is it like 2,000 something profile views? I ain't post nothing. Like, and then, you know, my stress, and I'm getting all these DMs saying, I saw your documentary. I saw your documentary. I'm like, you did? Wait, where? Like, I forgot this shit. Like, I forgot, you know? And, you know, I go on Facebook and I see my friends from school sharing it. Everyone's sharing it and going viral on Facebook. And all I could think about was, oh my God, wait, they really work. I literally just wanted that to happen. I wanted people to see because I wanted, needed, and already knew early on I would deeply appreciate people seeing this and letting me know I was not wrong. People reminding me that what happened was not okay. And to also shed light and acknowledge that even though that happened, I still kept a smile. I still was professional. I didn't call anyone out. I didn't do anything messy, you know. So everyone really got to see a combination of, wow, she's a really great entertainer. Oh my gosh, she's a nice body. Her personality is amazing. She's so humble, but she knows when to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people got to see that, and that's why I put up the image, letting everybody know, may or may not have known, I'm no longer affiliated with City of Doms. Because when you said documentary, like I said, there's no part two. There's no update. So as far as it goes, people can think in their head, well, hopefully one day she leaves them, not knowing I was kicked out actually. So, did I not? I mean, I planned on leaving, but they beat me to it. Oh darn! You know why? Because I stood up for myself, spoke the truth respectfully, and that's what upsets people. They're upset that I was punished after already being punished, on top of being punished some more, just
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to do my best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, humans are going to see what's right and what's wrong. And when you see that, you don't have to see it's wrong. I just needed people more people to see it, because like I said, when it first came out, it was around like 80,000 views. I shared it. That was over 2 million.
Wow.
And and so many women who also dance are saying thank you and thank you, because again, it takes one person to say, hey, I have dignity, I have self-respect, you should listen to me. And then someone goes, I do too, and that was 2 of us. We do too, and that was 4 of us. But multiplying like cells, you know what I mean? To the point where now in our contracts, respect the dancers is now included, just like how they added in non-discrimination, non-orientation. It took someone to say, hey, I'm gay, but I still want to work. Hey, I'm gay too. Hey, I'm bi. Hey, I'm whatever. To the point where you're like, okay, we can't go against them, because we still need them to work. We still need them to work for us. So let's include it. That way we can have them work for us, as well as still have them consume and buy for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I look at it. Me saying, no, I don't have to do this, and that should not dictate on my exposure, my amount of income, or anything. I should not be punished for saying no, because no means no. Just because I'm a dancer does not mean everything is a yes. You know what I'm saying? That's not, that's not what it is. And in regards to the whole sex industry, I love what that ideal on your fantasy, you need this more than I do. I'm giving you money, you gonna obey me, a typical man can pay $20 to go to a club, but the stripper herself is paying a tip in to even dance, and that's $50 or more. So why is the dancer paying more to be there versus the people who are going there to watch?
Mm.
You see how it's manipulated? And it's like, when you see those things, you can't unsee them. And I already know that's happening in the sex club. Why does it have to happen in the lesbian clubs, LGBT clubs, or even at all? Because more people are afraid to say, hey, I don't want to do this. And then they don't make their money. Being a dancer is most like me. It's my main source. It's like my highest, main source. People have kids. You never know their life. And that fear of not knowing the next amount of money can outweigh their value. You know what I mean? And that's where you have everybody else who, when they respect themselves, they get punished, because like, what are you talking about? You're a hoe. Go out there, like, because you're acting out. When in reality, no, you're acting appropriate. No one else was acting appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pretty much putting yourself in a box, and being conditioned. And then now everyone else is being conditioned. Oh, I want to look like Cardi B. I want to look like this because she has this. And if I look like this, I'll get this. I'm like, no. Or you can be yourself and get what you deserve, and not make yourself mentally think, I have to change this to get this because I'm not good enough because of this person's point of view or this person's perspective. And sitting here doing things and modifying up this and up this because you want that approval to keep that check. I literally, like, people can look at that and say, wow, that's messed up that he did that to her. But when you finish that documentary and you hear me say, a man running this is da da da, and It doesn't have about LGBT, da da da. Any business person will look at that and say, now she knows she just fucked up and she's definitely gonna get kicked the fuck out. Like you definitely can see, she definitely up. There's her job. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna say that in the comments. They're gonna say, "Girl, you deserve better. You should run your own." They say stuff like that because I spoke too true that there is no way in hell I'm gonna be able to walk away and not have to look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And that should not be the first thing I'm thinking of naturally myself, making it humorous because I saw that shit when I looked at it, I'm like, well, I'm probably going to be kicked out of city now. So let's see what happens. 5 hours later, he texted me. Hour later, she texted me. 5 days later, I'm unfollowed. 3 days later, I'm kicked out. I'm told that they don't trust me. They're uncomfortable to wait it out and see what happens in January. Okay, I'm team. If you don't trust me now, you're never going to trust me. What's the difference between December 8th and January 1st? That's less than a month. If you can gain my trust in 26 days, how come we can't do it over this phone call over this 25 minutes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, and also another thing too, when you're in that industry, people may assume that you're uneducated because you're doing that. And I don't think
stigmas and ideas and stereotypes.
Yeah, so I don't think they expected me to be as knowledgeable as I am. Like I'm asking questions about the business. It's not to know their money, I don't care about that, but the business in regards to how I can set up my future, how I can mold myself, sell myself, and I'm being told, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, don't do it. Like, it's like, okay, I'm going to go out my box and I'm going to figure it out. And I did. Like I said in Dr. Honey, I got a flight everywhere. Even though I didn't get to perform in Fort Lauderdale, I still got a flight there. I got my flight to Jamaica. I made it happen from dancing live, stripping, all that stuff for free. They look at it like, you know what? She be dancing for hours. I'm going to go to her event and make it rain on her. Or you know what I mean? Or I'm going to make sure she can go to the event so they can make it rain on her. It got like that. Like a lot of my supporters, they're really bonding with each other. Like I'm not the type of person where I can go live and they're saying hi to each other, checking up on me. I did that within a year. That was 2 years, and I had to learn, I already had that natural thing. City Downs didn't give that to me. They can't take it away from me. The only thing they can do is catapult me, which they did by being not only disrespectful, but also harassing. And still to this day, there's no apology. I know it's never ever going to happen. Because at this point, it don't even matter. It wouldn't even make sense. And there was even memes also that said, keep sharing that video. Keep sharing that video. You don't know how good it's like, basically they were trying to make it seem like me shedding light, spreading awareness was advertising for them also to get people interested in them. I'm aware that people can look at it and say, hey, I want to go. I'm not focusing on those people. I'm focusing on people that say, hey, I would never go there. I can't win everybody. I'm okay with that. But to try and put it in text so I can see that, another manipulative tactic, but it's like at the end of the day, now everyone can see the toxic that you guys are because of Broadly, aka Vice Identity now, I believe the new name is. And on top of that, they get to see how you treated me after I was no longer with you. How extreme you got it from making memes of text to R. Kelly to Momos and my mom getting a note with some scribbled handwriting on a balled up piece of paper. You know what I mean? Those measures, extreme measures they took, that all started back when this man made me lay down on the ground to do something that I don't ever do. After I told him I didn't want to do it, after he reiterated it on the mic, after he manipulated the order of going out, after he threatened the audience on how much money they should throw out, after he hurt my pocket before I even went out. That's the whole chain.
In this story, there's so much in this, and what I'm seeing like threading through all of it is like the full spectrum of the consequences of telling the truth. Yep. And of like, you stayed consistent the whole time with who you are and stayed authentic to who you are and spoke the truth. And I mean, even in that video, you didn't bash anybody. You were just like, so this made me uncomfortable and I don't feel like this was right, you know? And so you're getting this full spectrum of like people that are bashing you and people that are not supporting you, people that are really trying to take you down, but then you're also creating change. You have it in your contract. Like you're creating a new, not necessarily like new, but you're showing people, you're showing other people who want to do what you do, what is possible, and that they don't have to take harassment. And in that way, like you said, like you took one for the team. It's like this whole process has been you kind of taking one for the team and taking the harassment so that a change can be made. Because now you're getting all this more support, and all these other people are seeing like, oh, we can do something about this. We can put this in the contract. We can not allow these things to happen. Because it's been so publicized, like what you went through. And that is, it's like, it sucks that it had to happen at your expense, you know, that you had to go through this experience and be harassed and be punished over and over. But it's like, because you kept speaking up, because you kept sharing and kept showing what was happening to you, it's now a change is actually happening. And it sucks so much that keeps happening in a sexual assault context. You know, it sucks that like these are so many experiences that so many, in particular, women deal with. I mean, a lot of people in terms of sexual assault deal with, but that women in particular deal with and have this kind of backlash. But it's, you're able to take that and to create a change and to always stand for like, hey, speaking your truth and speaking the truth and having more people share the truth. And I think that's really powerful. So thank you so much for sharing.
No problem. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I want to use my platform in ways that can allow anyone's life, either after me or during my lifetime as well, an easier way. You know what I mean? Like what I did, now people know, okay, well, this happens in LGBT clubs too. So we're all sex workers or all people who work in the sex industry. We're all the same, just have different audiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you see, like I've had men, women, dancers say, "Oh my God, when you said that, I just thank you so much for standing up for us." You know what I mean? And that's how I look at it. Like, you know, what's happening to me right now is happening to me. Yes, you guys see this, and it's unfortunate, but it's happening to someone right now while you're watching, and it's happening again right now. And
you're giving a voice to it, and you're giving a voice to other people who didn't feel like they could say something.
Yeah, like I said, timeline, it was published November 28th, and it's now finally being seen, and it's May.
Yeah.
And that whole gap of November and May, I've been dealing with harassment the whole time.
Wow.
So now it feels great to like see so many people see this and support it and just look at it, and reminds me, yes, it still exists and all that stuff. But it was so worth the wait. You know what I mean? If you're talking 80,000 to over 2 million, I'm patient. I'm fine. That wait, that's fine. Like
I'll sit here. I will sit here and wait.
Yeah. I'll just wait until maybe Facebook talks about memories and then everybody sees it again. Like, you know, something like that, you know. But the fact that, you know, it just is taking off and it's still doing it, it's so beautiful, you know. And it also allows people to know, there are such thing as dom dancers. It doesn't have to be in particular them, but dom dancers do exist. You know, I always get people, other dom dancers who just want to like talk to me or want to learn stuff, and I'm always down for things like that, you know. So it shows, we have options, but these other options can be toxic just like yours. So how can we fix this?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
I love that you're opening up that narrative and creating space for that to really be talked about and for change to be made. Thank you so much for sharing your story and, you know, really your power in speaking up and sharing the truth and what the truth can do. And it's complicated, it's complex, but what the truth can do. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. I have 3 pages. Miterrez, Miterrez. That's my main page. Ayo, it's Mighty. AyoIsMightMightY. And there's 5 Y's on that because I lost 5 accounts and I don't know why. So that's why there's 5 Y's on that page.
Okay.
And Mighty, yes. And then Mighty X Rated, which is MITEXRATED. And that's where I express myself on my terms, how I want to, in whatever way I do. And it's, a private page. I keep off negativity and hate. Weirdos, all that, the men, all that stuff,
All right, yeah.
You can definitely catch me on Instagram, Facebook, same spelling.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. And everybody go connect with Mighty. I've seen your question lives. It's a lot of fun. So go follow and engage and learn something. So thank you so much.
No problem.
I hope that you can take some nuggets away from this conversation and this story that Mighty shared, and both the two sides of telling the truth, the dangers and the things that you might face, but also, they came out of this story, and in the end, there was a lot of power and a lot of good things that happened from speaking up and standing in their power. So hope you take some lessons from that. And on the subject of standing in your power, don't miss my free workshop that's coming up this weekend. It is on Saturday, July 6th at 10 a.m. Central. You can sign up for free. It is for Black creatives, all about stepping into your Black creative power by dismantling some of those really strong messages about not being enough. So come and join me for that. We'll be dissecting some of those messages, especially around your Blackness and how that trails out into other areas of your life, and getting into what you can do to really step into your power. I'll be sharing my 7-step framework for dismantling the Oreo complex, those messages about not being enough and not being Black enough, and really stepping big into the life that you want to live and the things that you want to create in that life. So you can go to kristeniris.com/class. You can sign up for free there, and there will be a limited time replay if you miss it live. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you subscribe so you get new episodes, and please rate and review in iTunes. It is the best way to help others find us and get this show out to more people. And if you would like to help support this podcast, I invite you to join my Patreon page at patreon.com/melanatedrising. As a member, as a patron, you can choose a pledge amount that you would like to contribute every month, and you do get access to special afterthoughts videos and my live stream, my Instagram live streams that come off of Instagram after 24 hours, but they go on my Patreon so that you can check them out there and get more nuggets and wisdom from me. So you can go and check that out. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Melanated Rising. Always remember to stand in your Black creative power.